Nostalgia is a powerful thing. Smell in the air, the taste of a food, the song that you remember from the 90s, or even a TV show that brings you back to somewhere. Or as Hissing Thoughts puts it, things that remind you of other things. But nostalgia wasn't always a good thing. It was considered a disorder ever since its coining in the 1700s by a Swiss physician who attributed soldiers' mental and physical maladies to their longing to return home, nostos in Greek, and the accompanying pain, algos. Put them together, bam, you got nostalgia. Research at the University of Southampton, Konstantin Stadakis, launched an investigation. Its findings showed nostalgia has been shown to counteract loneliness, boredom, and anxiety. It makes people feel more generous to strangers and more tolerant of outsiders. More nostalgic when you're in cold. You'll be like, oh man, remember the summer when it was warm? And it's said that kids as early as 7 can have nostalgia of trips that they've went on, going to the beach, vacations, and then after that they can go to preschool in this castle. Look at this thing. Come on. Who doesn't want to go to a preschool that looks like a castle? You can really tell that the media is trying to get in on this whole nostalgia craze, since nostalgia is so good and it helps you feel better. You know, it helps you out of like a depressive funk. You could say, oh, remember this one time I felt better? Maybe I won't be in this depressive hole the whole time. You can see that as Fuller House is one of Netflix's best series, with 14 million people in its first 35 days. That's up from the 4th series of Orange is the New Black, which only got around 7 million. So you can see how much nostalgia really gives you. And if you hear that new song, or a song that's been kind of modeled after a song that would make you feel nostalgic, whether that's Rihanna sampling some Michael Jackson beats, that makes the corporate people's mouths salivate. They're like, oh my god, money. And yes, the money is there if you hit that nostalgic sweet spot and you make people think of back in the day when life was more simpler time, when you could just go to preschool and, you know, have your day free and you didn't have any worries, you didn't have any bills. You got Fuller House, you've got 24 coming back, you've got Prison Break. I'm super excited about that. And you've got so many other remakes of 80s movies. You've got the remakes, you've got the new Ghostbusters, so many hits of that nostalgia. You've got Crystal Pepsi coming back, a 90s drink coming back, trying to hit that nostalgia. You got Surge coming back. And if you hear some yelling in the background, seems like they do things backwards here in Georgia. They're having baseball practice over here in the middle of February, and he's yelling like, Jesus Christ. You'd think somebody's murdering his wife or something. One thing that makes me particularly nostalgic is Katy Perry music. It's a really interesting story, and it has to do with this tattoo I've got on my arm. I got this tattoo for my 19th birthday present in Hollywood, California. Every time I see this, there's a very deep meaning to this tattoo, and there's a really good story that goes up to it as well. My parents had seen in the paper that the Beach Boys were having a free concert in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Free Beach Boys concert, but you had to be there at 7 o'clock in the morning. So that would mean that we would have to wake up at about 4 o'clock in the morning, which is never really good if you're a teenager. We watched the concert. It was all great. There was a raffle going on. This huge barrel that you could enter your token in to get to a free Katy Perry concert. Go get out, flown to LA, get some free money, and get to see Katy Perry perform. And wouldn't you know it, we thought we had no odds. But I actually hear my father's name being called. I'm like, why are they calling your name? And then he goes up there and turns out, guess what? He won. He won the grand prize. Must have been thousands and thousands of names in there. But in order to qualify for this trip, you had to be 18. And I myself am 18. Or was 18 at the time. This was 5 years ago. I'm going to be 24 this year. I don't know when the Beach Boys concert was. All I know is that it led up to then, in June 24th, we had to fly out to LA. It was a trip for 2 to LA to see Katy Perry perform, opening her new movie, Part of Me, which we would get a free sneak we would get to see before it aired anywhere. We got to be the first people to see it in the Chinese theater. So we flew out. I was the only one that could go because you had to be 18, and everyone wanted to go. Everyone was so jealous of me. You know, everyone in my family was so like, oh my god, it was the best birthday present. I'm telling you what, it happened on my birthday. We flew out on my birthday. We went to JFK at 4 o'clock in the morning, flew out, and that was the first day. My birthday basically consisted of connecting flights. I felt like Casey and Neistat for a day, just having a travel day type of stuff. That was my first time on an airplane, and I had not been on an airplane since. Well, you know, you have so many people in your family, some things just aren't available for you, you know. The concert was on June 26th. They closed down Hollywood and Highland to put Katy Perry's stage down there. And I was so close to Katy Perry. I would say like 20 feet. And here she is singing 8 of her singles to open up her new movie, documentary of her whole stage life, performing all around the world, her stage hands, her come up story. Very inspirational. We got to see it all in the Chinese theater. I mean, her costume, she was throwing pieces of popcorn out. We got put up in a hotel. I think it was the Hyatt. We got put up there for 3 or 4 days. They gave us $1,000. And with that $1,000, I got this tattoo. Birthday present of sorts from my father. He also got a tattoo. We got the same tattoo. We don't have the same tattoo, but we have the same idea of a tattoo. We didn't even like collaborate on it. We just kind of both at the same time had the same idea for a tattoo. There's a lot of meaning towards it. I don't really want it to be like a drunken mistake. So here it is. I am Pineapple Pat, or at least I was until I changed my name. I will forever be Pineapple Pat. That's the pineapple. Then I've got my fire, the fire coming out of the tip. If you can count all those leaves and all that fire, it adds up to 12. Now my mother has since deceased, so one of those flames should be extinguished, and then you see that one that's really not quite there. That's for my wife, or as I joke, husband. The thorns around. That's everything that restricts me. That's everything that tries to keep you down in life. And then you've got the rays of sun coming through the pineapple. That's me shining through all the bull. That's me getting through, even though everything tries to keep me down and, you know, things aren't always the best. You've got that right there. Anybody wants to send in an application to be that flame part, like Selena Gomez there, I'm accepting applications.
You want me, I'm accepting applications.
Red Hot Chili Peppers was my mother's favorite band. I know I'm going into detail, and maybe this is too far detailed, too far personal stuff, but I wanted to make this a personal channel. I wanted to really let you in on some personal stuff. Sometimes I feel like a robot, just jotting off random facts and going to places. But I wanted to make this a personal thing. That's the point of a vlog, to be personal with your audience. I was inspired by Flea to play the bass guitar. I don't play it anymore, but for the longest time, I did play the bass guitar in a band called CBX. My brother has since picked up the lead. I like doing this a lot more, and the band kind of just took time away from doing YouTube. I'm not trying to be a jack of all trades and a master of none. I'm trying to master one thing. You know, I can't be the bassist of a band, a stocker at Stop and Shop, a YouTuber. I got a girlfriend. You know, you gotta really focus in on one thing, or at least I'm trying to focus in on one thing. After high school ended, I had no friends, and I tried to make friends in the wrong spot. These were bad people. I was kind of naive to the fact that these were nice people. I was kind of like, at least they're friends. They ended up robbing me when I was out of the house. And I kind of shied away from the world, and I started to upload YouTube videos. This is where it all started. Maybe if I wasn't robbed, I would have never continued my YouTube videos. Maybe it was always going to be that way, but I'm not afraid of other challenges. So bring it on, D-Man. Remember to be nostalgic, because it's good for you, and I'll see you tomorrow.